Anthony Asquith. Hello, Anthony Asquith of Affinity Trading. Nice to have you along, and thank you for taking a few minutes to look at this short, brief blog. I work in the field of human behaviour psychology in business, in clinical settings, and also for different corporate businesses. So I'd like to talk to you a little bit about negotiation. I've been writing recently about the topic. One of the things that strikes me about negotiation is that to be a good negotiator, you do have to have good insight into people's opinions. You have to also be able to read their intentions, their beliefs, and whether some of the things they are saying are actually true or not. So over the next couple of blogs, these short videos, I'm going to be giving you several quick, easy tips on things to pay attention to that you can be mindful of to avoid being deceived by others, especially in business or indeed in romance. Okay. The case that comes to mind happened 2 days ago on Wednesday. I was telephoned by a cold calling company called the Full Financial Review Service. They're based in Swansea. And they explained to me that they were offering a service, interesting enough, not like PPI or endowment mis-selling, but actually based on the idea that you could secure a refund of money from mortgage brokers who had missold you overinflated in mortgage products. Now this sounded quite interesting. It's a bit new. I'd not heard of it before, so I was curious. And he started to explain a little bit more in the detail, which was fine. I then asked him after 2 or 3 minutes, how am I going to pay for this exactly? At which point he says to me, I'll come back to that in a moment. Okay. I'm a salesman, have been before, and certainly try to be today. And one of the things I appreciate is the ability that, it's important to sometimes pad out the presentation. So that's okay. It goes on for another 2 or 3 minutes. He explains more about what he's doing, essentially saying the same type of thing he's already told me. So I then ask him the second time, please, could you just tell me what the price, the cost is, what's involved, what do I need to do to get your service? And then he says, I'll come to it in a moment. So I give him about a minute. Then I ask him quite candidly, look, I'm busy. I've got a schedule. I've got things to do, probably like yourself. Come to the point now. Tell me how I'm going to pay for this. At which point he says, truthfully speaking, the cost is £965 plus VAT. Now, the first thing in my mind is, why would he say to me, truthfully speaking? Because over the next 2 to 3 minutes, he uses other utterances like candidly telling you this, truthfully speaking, to be honest with you, and you couldn't make this stuff up. Now, when people say this type of thing to you, there's something you need to be mindful of. At an unconscious level, they're filled with doubt. Primarily that they're things in their mind. It may not be that he was lying completely, but something in his mind is triggering doubt. And what we as humans do is overcompensate at a conscious level by trying to amplify the fact we are telling the truth. Another way of putting this is simply this. If I or you are telling the truth to someone, we expect to be believed. We don't need to amplify the fact we're telling the truth. So it's natural to just speak as you find. So the fact he was amplifying this started a slight alarm bells. Then, under pressure, when I was pushing him for more information about the payment process, he then let slip something else that was rather interesting. He changed tone, became calmer, a little bit more lucid, as I would say, by saying to me, look, if things don't work out and you pay for this initially £965 plus VAT with your credit card, you do have the right and indemnity to be able to pursue the claim back for the money you've paid to us through your credit card company. Well, why would you tell me that there's a risk? Why would you instill into my mind that I may not get the money back? This point, I'm thinking to myself, not sure. So I then tell him, look, I do have a credit card, but I'm not going to be using it with you today. Thank you very much. And subsequently put the phone down. Now, what's interesting is then 10 minutes later, I thought, right, I'll take a quick look at Google. I've got a few minutes on my hands. So I researched in Google what the history, the background of the full financial review service was in Swansea. To my slight, not surprise, but certain interest, I observed that from that information came the report from the BBC that they'd actually investigated this company. The company have changed names maybe twice. Additionally, having been told by the telephone representative that they were registered with the Ministry of Justice, how interesting it was to discover that their officers had been swooped upon previously by the Ministry of Justice and the local Swansea police force to take information and do some research, to do a search of the office. So what I'm saying here is this. There are things that people give out, information that people give out, and I'll cover many more of these over the next couple of months. There are things that people give out that sometimes you may pick up or may miss. My work is based on the idea of trying to help you amplify things that you can pay attention to over the next few months and start to really get a better sense of what's going on around you in the world. I'd like to say thank you very much for giving me this valuable time. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Remember, please feel connected, collaborated, and communicate with people around you. Thanks again for looking in. Hope to see you again soon. Cheers for now. Bye.